You have not been told the truth from day one, I promise you. I went down there right shortly after this mess started, and with the help of a group called South Wings. If you've never heard of them, look them up. Conservation through Aviation. They're absolutely the angels in the sky that allowed me to get in an airplane and go out there and bring back the truth. In May, I flew out over it. Because of a thunderstorm, we couldn't get to ground zero. I couldn't actually see the source of the BP slick. But at 20 miles from the rig, the Gulf of Mexico, in every direction as far as I could see, was covered with a red, heavy crude oil. I told myself then that it looked like the Gulf was bleeding. That phrase got coined in a video that I later produced. It went viral. And Americans, Germans, Russians, people in Saudi Arabia all responded. That message went around the world because the for-profit medias were sitting on their butts taking orders from BP's Thad Allen. The truth was not told. There was no way to stop what was happening to the Gulf of Mexico. All the promises from BP's Thad Allen and all the failures that called themselves restoration experts that came in and said we could keep it out of our marshes, they were lying to us, folks.
Many areas of the marsh that we were in was black as far as you could see along the edge of the marsh in every direction that you looked. And they're my fellow scientists who are saying, oh, you can see sprigs of marsh grass growing, the marsh is recovering. Not in the area that I was at. I saw maybe one area that was lightly oiled that was like that, but there are extensive areas of the marsh that are black with oil. And I haven't been able to analyze what we have yet, but I'm not confident that all of our creatures that are supposed to be there are there.
Things are dying. What is not dead will be dead in the next 2 years. That is a guarantee. Tulane University, University of Southern Florida, University of Georgia have found evidence that the dispersed oil is bioaccumulating, even though NOAA said it was unlikely to bioaccumulate. My question to them was, how dare you open up the waters and say the seafood's safe when it's based upon unlikely? Now we find out, yes, it is bioaccumulating. It is under the shells of crab larvae. It is in our larval shrimp. Now, what eats our larval shrimp and our larval crabs? Anybody tell me? The entire rest of the friggin' food chain.
They not only condemned our Gulf of Mexico, but they condemned our way of life. This is not just an environmental issue. It's a social issue. When one group of people can come across the waters and condemn another whole race of people's way of life for profit, that should be considered a crime. Someone needs to be held accountable. I visited the people in Betrayal, Louisiana. I have good friends there with the Louisiana Bayou Keeper, Chapalaya Bayou Keeper, Louisiana Environmental Action Network. All of these people were coming together at one time. And when I went down there to visit with them, I felt like there was a pallor in the air. There were people mourning. They were mourning the loss of their way of life. They were mourning for something that they didn't know they would ever be able to recover. Fathers teach their children like their fathers taught them. The day you can get up and get on your feet and get out on that shrimp boat, you go help. Or you're crabbing. You're in your pirogue out there doing something in the water. This is the way of life that was taken away. It's not an environmental issue, it's a social issue.
Today I call out to my people, to my American brothers and sisters. Kind hearts, our children and wildlife are being poisoned by British Petroleum and the American government. There is still millions of gallons of oil all along our coastlines. And now their poison is in our water to the point where we are forced to question the validity of the safe seafood claim. We have been let down. We have been sold out by the EPA, the FDA, the NOAA, and there ain't no damn way.
One of the first things I found was that core exit would be in the rain. So I began to watch it. I had just started to do a garden this year, and I noticed that all my plants had begun to get spots on them. And what some of the stuff that Kendra found was that the rain was full of a lot of heavy metals, and that while each individual rain didn't actually contain so much heavy metal to be over the EPA standards, we were getting rained on every single day. So the cumulative effect of all that rain started burning holes in all of my plants. Well, I posted it online, and they said, well, maybe it's just a fungus. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. Well, when I went an hour east, I found the same thing on all the plants over there. So we ended up evacuating. My wife had to leave behind her son. He lives with his dad. We're still trying hard to get him to look at the information. We had to give up our dog along the way in Alabama. Some people took her because we couldn't.
Time, bro. Take your time, bro. We got you back.
Love you, Randy. Love you.
They have sprayed 40 million people with poisonous dispersants. I have people all over my homeland sick, breaking out in rashes. A child gets a ringworm. Instead of it going away within a few days with a little bit of medicine, it covers her from shoulder to shoulder and all the way around her neck as it multiplies because the natural barrier on all of our skin is gone. I myself contracted a staph infection. Had holes the size of pencils in the back of my legs. You know, I was down for 10 days. People don't realize this is going on. We had people down there with nosebleeds, upper respiratory problems. My husband's had brown shit leaking out of his ears for 4 months.
There's an urgency. So stay with me. We all need to stay involved in this, okay?
You're hearing that the cap's on and the oil's gone. That's the beginning of this story. That is only the beginning of the restoration of the Gulf of Mexico. We've got a long, long way to go. And we need your help, America. We need everybody to pay attention to what's happening down there and come to these rallies. Support the groups. Save our Gulf. We've got several groups down there that are operating on shoestring budgets that need your help. Come and help us. Bridge the Gulf is another fantastic outlet down there. If you want to know what's happening on the Gulf of Mexico today, talk to somebody in one of these groups. Save our Gulf. Bridge the Gulf. Call Derek Evans. These people know what's going on, and they'll put you where you need to be if you want to come and volunteer. I'm John Wathen. I'm your Hurricane Creek Keeper, and I'm pissed off, y'all.
You need to get pissed off. That's my message today. Get pissed off. Stay pissed off. I'm going to leave you with this poem I wrote. It says, things may be ugly, and this will be long, but in the end, we will sing our song. Through actions and protest, war we rage. On BP and the government, we want out of this cage. With truth on our side, battle songs to be sung. In the end, we will find, oh my gosh, we won.
You know, like many Americans, I was politically asleep, sedated. I had no idea what our federal government was doing behind closed doors. No clue until the BP Deepwater Horizon rig exploded and my eyes were open to what's really going on. And my main message today to our American citizens, wake up. Get out from in front of Law and Order on the television. Get out from in front of Judge Judy and Jerry Springer. Get off your butt, get in the street, and take your country back.